All right, so let's get to a few things, including, by the way, when we talk about Redbridge, this is how much work they do, right? There's like 60-something pages, their most recent one that comes out. So it's not just the stuff you read in the paper, it's all the data, all the numbers that are after all of it. And, Cos, I want to talk about something before we start to talk about numbers and polls and all the rest of it. I want to talk about focus groups, meaning the people you are talking to around the country.
Yep. Clearly,
we know that something has changed. What are they saying about what has changed in the past couple of months? Because I'm noticing in some of the deep dives here, what used to be sort of 52-48 becomes 50-50, becomes 52-48 the other way. What are they saying about the past couple of months?
It depends where you are. I mean, if you're in Western Australia, maybe parts of New South Wales, definitely in South Australia, you were looking at the current government and you weren't happy with it, right? But you're looking, well, maybe there's a better option. And they're not really getting that better option, right? Because, like at the moment, I define the campaign like the 1986 Mike Tyson fight with Trevor Berwick, where basically you're waiting for Trevor to land a blow and you into the second round and it only lasted 2 rounds, right?
Yeah, good point.
Right? And so that's what's going on right now. They're not getting any alternative from an economic perspective.
Yes.
However, we go to Victoria, particularly Victoria, but also parts of New South Wales again as well, and it gets pretty grim for Labor. So there's a lot of nuance here. People are still very, very, I would say, angry at the Labor brand in Victoria. It doesn't matter where we go, whether it's in Melbourne, regional Victoria, it's pretty bad. So it depends where you...
Yeah, I mean, are there places, and again, so let's speak specifically about those populous areas, New South Wales, Victoria. Are there people who might have been either on the fence or lukewarm who are turning around saying, Albo, can't stand him, or, I kind of like Dutton a couple, can't stand him. Are you hearing any of that where people are starting to move into that, oh, okay, you're a definite yes or a definite no?
Not really, right? And so hence why, at the moment, it's tightened in favour of Labor. But the vote on both sides is still very soft. So we could see a situation that once Dutton gets his campaign up and running and starts talking about the economy, then maybe we will see the numbers come back a bit. I still think it's going to be a minority government of some sort. Right now, if you were to force me to choose, if it was to be held today, it would be a Labor minority government. But it's so tenuous, it could flip within 2 weeks.
All right, Newspoll has just dropped on the Australian newspaper. I know they're the competitor, but let me tell you what their number is. 51-49 in favour of the coalition. The primary vote for the coalition now 39%. Remember, they have a 4 in front of it. They win elections, general, normal elections. 39, well, best they've been in a long time. Labor back to 31. One Nation at 7%. Now, there are polls anywhere. Now, the last election, they got 5% One Nation. Now it's 7, in some polls 9. Pay attention. Greens haven't moved anywhere, 12%. Better Prime Minister, Albanese 45 to Dutton's 40, 15% of people, no idea. And again, basically, their analysis is worth reading at another point in time. Michael, you'd be happy that that's tomorrow's headline. Coalition's still in front after multiple weeks of people saying, oh, what's going on? What's going on?
Yeah, well, there's no doubt in my mind that the coalition has slowed over the last month, and that's reflected in the polls. But knowing the odd thing here or there, I look at Labor and I think they've probably played their biggest card, which was their Medicare deal. I mean, Medicare funding. That was the biggest card. I mean, they've got 2 cards they'll play in this election. Number one, the Liberals are going to sell off Medicare, privatise it, whatever. I mean, Malcolm was doing that in 2016, as we'll remember, and 9 years on, it still hasn't happened. And the second card they play, of course, is the secret cuts. I've seen this card played many, many times. It's a good one, actually, because people fear the unknown. And the secret Liberal cuts is one where they've trotted it out in the 18-state campaign here. They trot it every few elections. So when Labor have no real cards to play, they're the 2 cards, and they're effective. I'm not sure the Medicare one will work this time because people don't like being conned, and they know they were conned in 16. And the secret cuts, I think everyone realises the budget's in a shocking position. I mean, net debt is increasing $200 billion in the next few years. So I don't know where Jim Chalmers gets all these figures from. He's put in a shocker. So I think the calm before the storm is the fact that the coalition have kept most of their policies over the last month, despite being goaded. And I think Dutton is going to edge ahead from Thursday onwards.